Most of us are heavily addicted to this one activity that is highly stimulating. Sometimes it could be extremely detrimental to our mental health, and the worst thing is that almost none of us are aware of it, and that is mental masturbation. Whoa, hold on a second. Quick note before I continue. I'm not talking about the masturbation we're all familiar with. That's a conversation for another day. I'm Daniel and welcome back. You might be wondering, what is this mental masturbation thing and how come I'm suffering from that? Okay, let's just define first what mental masturbation is. It's the act of engaging in useless yet intellectually stimulating conversation, usually as an excuse to avoid taking constructive action in your life. That's the concept definition we have for mental masturbation. Now, this focus on the concept on having intellectually stimulating conversations. You could be talking to colleagues, friends, or family about your next business idea or how you're going to improve your life. And you can have all this amazing brainstorming time with your friends and all be pumped up, motivated, full of energy, but not doing anything about it. But by the way, there are other ways that you can find yourself suffering of mental masturbation. And that is reading self-development books, watching inspiring and motivational videos, listening to podcasts how to grow a business, how to become a better person, how to deal with anxiety and depression, all of that, which by the way, all of that content is great. But the problem is that we are not taking action. We consume all this content, we get ourselves stimulated, we fill our brain with dopamine, making us feel better, making us feel smarter, making us feel with more knowledge, but at the end, we're not doing anything about it. After we read a book, after we listen to a podcast, after we watch a video, we tend to go to a normal life. Just go back to our normal life and then we tend to forget. The worst thing about mental masturbation is that a lot of us, if not most of us, are not aware that we're dealing with that. See what I have here? Those are all self-development books. In my 20s, for over 10 years of my life, I've been reading self-development books, how to become better. I've always had that drive in me. Always want to improve, just get the most out of me, out of my life, out of my body, and out of my brain as well. But the problem I was facing was I was never taking action. I read dozens of books, watched countless of hours of motivational videos, and listened to literally hundreds of hours of podcasts, thinking that was going to get me closer to where I wanted to be. But the reality is, without action, I have nothing. Literally, I had nothing. Now in my 30s, I realized I needed to take steps I needed to take action in order for me to start growing as a person. The problem with mental masturbation also is that we feel that we're doing a lot. We feel productive. We feel that we are advancing in our life, and we can spend years feeling this way, years. And then we look back and we feel that we're at the same spot. We're stuck. The reason why we're stuck is because we haven't taken any action. And the problem with that, if we're not aware that that's the reason why we're stuck, then that affects our self-confidence. So having all this knowledge, knowing all this information, consuming all this content without taking action, without doing anything about it, it's just like having tools to build a house. It's like having a hammer, a drill, nails. Yeah, those tools can help you build a house. But then if you're just gathering tools after tools and tools, nails after nails, drills and hammers and all of that, without even using them, they're useless. Literally, those tools are going to just gather dust and be there for years and years and years. The same thing happens with the information and the content you're consuming to improve your life, but you're not taking action. You're not using that to your benefit and to your advantage. A tip I got from a podcast, ironically, about how to deal with mental masturbation and how to get out of it is, after reading a book, watching a video, or listening to a podcast, spend 30 minutes to an hour asking yourself 3 main questions. How, why, and when? How can I use this? If your goal is to overcome anxiety, opening a new business, growing your career, run a marathon, whatever the case may be, ask yourself, how can you use the information that you just got. That way, it will stick in your brain by writing down on a piece of paper, I can use this information in this way, and this way. Question number 2, why? Why must I use this? Why do you need to use that? What is the need? What is the internal desire that you have that led you to read that book? That led you to watch that video? That led you to listen to that podcast? Once you know exactly what is your why and why do you have to really use that, then you know. And the third question, which is also very important and key, when? When will I use this? It could be today, it could be tomorrow, it could be 6 months from now, but put it in a calendar. Have a deadline for yourself. By just putting it on a calendar, you're making a contract with yourself. You're holding yourself accountable. I'm going to use this tool that I know that I need this specific date. The good thing about this problem is that we can fix it. We can break out of the cycle. We need to stop sabotaging ourselves. In what way? 1, we need to be aware when we are doing mental masturbation, when we're just talking to a friend, having this intellectual even conversation with ourselves, or reading a piece of content, or consuming any content that we purposely do in order to improve our life, but without taking action. That the moment that we are realizing that we're having that aha moment, that we have that dopamine release in our brain, but we're not doing anything, that's the moment when we need to take a step back and ask ourselves, how can I use this content? Why must I use this content? And when will I use this content? Now, truth to be told, you're not going to 100% eliminate mental masturbation, and that's okay. That's completely fine. Our brains like to be stimulated, and sometimes you're not going to be able to be aware enough to just every time you consume a piece of content or every time you have an stimulating conversation with somebody to use that to your advantage. No, but our goal is that more times than not, we do something about it. We take action. We don't want to have a room full of tools, full of drills, hammers, nails, without ever being used. That's what our brain looks like now. When you consume, read, watch, listen, or have a conversation with somebody that is intellectually stimulating, that is giving you ideas, that is giving you purpose, that is giving you the energy and motivation that you need in order to change your life, be aware that unless you do something about it, that information, that knowledge is going nowhere. That's all for today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.